Lancelots and the Houston Chins were being banned out. Right now with the Broken Walls, typically the Grok is picked 9 times out of 10 because you really, I don't know, it's just something about this Grok on Broken Walls that you want to play it so that you create something that's not there. I don't know how to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because usually it's kind of counterintuitive when it comes to
counterintuitive,
logic.
right?
But maybe because, you know, there's this path that you could have gone through, but it's immediately blocked away by the Grok. So maybe that's why it's a lot more premium, right? So that's why. But Flash, this time around going in first pick once again. The Grok ultimately forgotten, given the Fredrin over the side of Team Flash.
Ooh, they're going straight on defensive, playing the long game. I think the aggression will come through with the Fredrin, but like I said in the previous game as well, I don't really like the Fredrin first pick. I feel like you should suss it out a little bit more before committing into a team jungler.
Yeah, and now immediately you pick up the Fredrin, that you open up for, you know, the likes of the Lunox coming in. If Team Evil were to go for that one, now the Yuzhong is also really wide open for the taking. All of a sudden, you know, even if Cartesi wants to go for the Lunox right here, it's still A-okay. You still have the Brilliance, but you give a very prior pick away over to the side of Team Evil. Give the Grok over to Team Evil.
Yeah, I think this is looking like Evil wants to pick up a Lunox down the mid side to just shred this Fredrin down. I think it does make sense. You have a lot of shake and bake mechanisms from the Black Dragon form as well as the wall onto the Fredrin. And then Evil could go with a Guinevere jungle as well. I don't think it really makes a lot of a difference. And then you could go back for a traditional gold laner down the gold side. For Flash SG though, you got the Gatsukacha as well as the Kimmy, so a little bit of a trade down for the mid duo.
I was thinking, this is very interesting coming outside Team Flash, right? I was expecting maybe a Lunox to counter pick, secure your pick again on the Fredrin, right? So the Fredrin gets a good game. And okay, Gatsukacha makes sense. Being able to just rotate around and after that use the AOG to land onto anywhere else to reinforce. And now, you know...
Yeah, I was sussing that out. I knew the Guinevere was going to get picked up right here.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters what the mid lane picks. I think Sayla, if anything, would have been the last pick. But then he might need to go for the Lunox, try to get someone to shred the Fredrin down. I think something else that works right here is Evil wants to secure all the tanky, beefy boys in the front line and try to get Evil playing on the side lanes. So a Moskov might be viable over here. You know, heck, even a Melissa would look good over here as long as you get that range going.
Yeah, I mean, definitely after, you know, the regular season, I'm expecting more marksmen coming up from the side of Vanix already, right? Because I think it's not really comfortable on the fighter gold lane, in my opinion. And, you know, you start to see Team Evil taking away the Harry already. The Forest are also taking away. Maybe one more ban for the side of Flash SG will be from the Lunox as well, to at the very least cover your Fredrin, because we've seen the Fredrins constantly getting melted very quickly by the Lunox. There's also a potential carry coming up from the side of Team Evil as well, right? Like, Team Evil go for the carry, shreds through the Garthot, shreds through the Fredrin, and you've also got so many frontliners to protect the carry from damage.
Yeah, so Lunox is wide open. Flash SG just really hunkering down on the zonal potentials that both teams will bring out. That's the classic marksman that we'll bring into the table. And one thing I want to point out as well is the Tectonic Charge into the Violet Requiem combination. Now, Guinevere doesn't really need to aim that jump. You just need to be at that presence when everyone gets knocked up and just chain that bounce in any of these team fights. So
Yuzhong also provide that knock-up as well, right?
Yeah.
So this is a very scary combo coming out from Coach Bitoy as well, right? And this is going to make Aether a very easy game, especially when you got the broken walls. During the Lord Pit fight, during the Turtle Pit fight, you could just build a wall right there and then all of a sudden just Tectonic Charge right all the way in. It allows, you know, the Aether on the Guinevere to secure the Lord very easily. So Bravest Warrior is definitely going to be something that Flash SG is looking out for. The CC immunity is definitely going to be wonderful against Team Evil.
Looks like they're locked in.
Yep.
We selected that. That's going to be the Vexana.
Another knock-up?
It's going to be a knock-up as well as a direct counter towards that Fredrin. I mean, the Fredrin comes close, you just use that S1 just to terrify and just get him out of the way. So that was a very, very smart move. Right now, you're playing 6 members as well with Saylas, the Eternal Guard as well. 7, including the Lord.
Including the Lord, right? We gave the MVP, well, the casters gave the Lord the MVP earlier just now for game number 1, but now this time around, Team Evil was like, hey, you know what? The next MVP should be Eternal Guard instead.
Well, hey, draft the set. Which one do you favor? Do you favor the villains or the heroes draft?
I
That's
feel
Clash
right now,
SG.
in terms of draft, just because, well, the members from the side of Team Evil should not be able to deal with the Fredgen. The Fredgen that gets a better game this time round. But I feel like
It's
a
a
lot-
typical front to back, right? You
It's
got a
typical
Granger
front to
Kidney
back.
combo too.
Yeah, it's a typical front to back. I feel like both of these two teams has a potential chance, but Team Evil, I think, no, I would say Flash SG has a better execution as well because, easier execution because Team Evil, for their wombo combo to pop off, you need the Grok to knock people up, the Yuzhong to knock people up, the Eternal God to knock people up, and also you need the Guinevere Aether to be there. So there's a lot more conditions for you to take, whereas, Flash could just beam balam bloom, everybody just goes down.
Well, we can hypothesize all we want, but it's all down to the execution. As
Yep.
both of these two teams still evenly matched up at this point. Scoreline 1-0 favoring Evil.
Yep, this is a best of 5, so there's still a lot more wiggle room for both of these two teams, mainly for the side of Flash SG to kind of find a way to recover, because that game, after that game number 1, that is extremely tilting.
I want to say that for the side of Evil, right? Like, there is not a lot of insurance policy. Who do you send down if your wave is in shambles? Who do you send down if your wave is pushing in?
I think Sayla has a better wave clear, right? You take a look, right? Sayla just easily wave clears that
You
one
wanna put
already.
the mage down onto go back into the base and get it reset.
Yeah, you've got no other choice, right? But technically speaking, yeah, or as the Yuzhong does, quite a decent amount of damage as well, especially when the fight gets a little bit long. The Shard Residue allows you to heal all the way back up. Don't forget Ven, especially when you go to the later parts of the game. You build like your Malefic Gun and also your Heart's Claws. You're just hoppity do, and after that you don't really need to use your Cosmo Tank. You already up a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And
Evil
kite.
so far EXP lane getting one out by Gear. So Yuzhong definitely has a better wave clear up on that top side. 20 seconds until the turtle spawns up. Evil's in a better position contest for this one. This time around, they have everything in their arsenal contest.
Yep. Aether, find this knock up onto Sayla though.
Oh,
Hey,
good
sorry.
job. Into the Violet Requiem. Curtizi will fly away safe and sound, but that's a Purifier used up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just this is a little bit awkward position coming out from Team Flash, right? Early, especially game number 1 is a little bit awkward, and now Bear playing on the slight back foot right now. Powerful doesn't have level 4 though.
Yeah, that's the wall. Hades getting trapped up. His chain stunned out. That's the Appraiser's Wrath. Getting the first blood onto Aether. And Hades is still up alive. The Eternal Guard dropped in, but a little bit too late. But Gear is there with the Black Dragon form, dealing not enough damage. Unable to secure chain. Able to walk out. All fine and dandy with a sliver left.
I was expecting, Team Flash was the one that actually overstayed their welcome in that particular fight, but no. Even though this Team Evil was the one that actually took the fall, Gear unfortunately unable to get as much lifesteal all the way back. The juggle, in terms of the damage and aggression between Hades and also Jay was truly immaculate. And on top of that, you can see the potential coming out of Team Evil, right? Flash SG is literally up in the air most of the time.
Good steal from the Gold Crab. On the top side, though, that's a 3-man engage onto Gear. He will take another death in this game.
Bear's angry. He's not happy in that with that particular outcome in game number 1. But we talk about, going towards the later part of the game. The 1-1 versus a Granger, but hold on.
Yep, Jace right around the corner. I don't think he's able to reach Ven. Nevo's all safe and sound for now. On the top side, though, Bear is already pushing in. No more gold plating. And it's a full gold plating over onto the Lapu Lapu.
Yep. Talk about the mid lane wave clear. You can see Sayla using the wombo combo to just wave clear very quickly. Curtizi is basically playing a little bit of a catch-up, right? Sayla's able to make the first move easily, and of course, with powerful intel, makes it easy for the mid duo to rotate.
Speaking of powerful, though, getting taunted out by Hades, but unable to follow up. Evo's not in the right position. 1,700 gold ahead is Flash SG's economy range gap. And for the side of Evil, though, okay, what's the game plan?
Interesting build from the side of Ven, right? Usually as a 1-1, you just go bum rush straight into a corrosive sign, but first item goes for the armor. He knows that he's not going to have a very good time in the early game, so definitely goes for the additional armor.
Oh, that's a mid Violet Requiem, but Aether getting locked down by the chain CCs. That's a jump up. They're jumping around like trampolines, but here comes the AOG. Gear finally falls as well. Flash picks 2 up again.
The Vendix came over there, shot One shot of that Sonata and he backs up. It doesn't really pick up the assist though. But that is just a full effort, right? Immediately picking up that kill and then after that return the favor against Team Evil. They are not happy about game number 1 as I mentioned.
2,500 gold lead and the turtle in their hands. Right in the bag once again. Ven will get trapped, will get collapsed on by every one of the members, but here comes Bear, will be able to secure that deal, but Vanix also will fall.
Cortese just outputting so much damage from the back line, and that's wonderful for the side of Team Flash. They have woken up, they have taken their coffee, as compared to then also going to be a traction pulse, a nice flicker for the side of Sailor, as Team Flash slowly dismantles Team Evil apart.
Look at the mid side though, you got Aether trying to defend against the ambush that Hades is bringing to the table or onto the turrets. But at the end of the day, though, I feel like Evil doesn't have the damage right now. Like Flash SG can always bring in Cortese, can always bring Vanix, and have that early game rotation to get that additional oomph, the additional punch of damage. But Evil doesn't really have that damage now. Even if Aether secures a Violet Requiem or it hits, knocks everyone into the air, there's just not enough follow-up right now.
Yeah, and Gear is not having a very good game, right? Like, and finally picking on the Hunter Strike, Sailor also picking up the Glowing One as well. Those are initial damage items, but I'm very sure with the 3k gold lead in the favor for the side of Team Flash, they are really miles ahead in terms of these damage.
Traction Pulse already committed over the side of Cortese. That's 44 seconds until the turtle spawns up.
Yep, you can see the Sky Piercer already secured by the side of Vanix. He's going to escalate out of control. You see a bit of a lane swap between Bear and also Vanix as well. There is Warrior right there to wave clear, hopefully trying to make a play. You can see ganks happening.
There's 4 members down the bottom side. Bear almost taking Aether out. Will do so before getting shut down by Ven. What a play!
Man, I was expecting that would be a dead Bear, right? Bear. This is literally his bear trap once again. You're not trapped. You're not trapping him. You're trapped with me. He's able to bring down a jungler for the side Team Evil and denying him from farm. That's massive.
Never put him on something that he's very comfortable with. You're desperately trying to take down this turret without any minions, able to do so. Gear taken down low, will get shot down and sniped up by Vanix.
Yeah, the Death Sonata right there, picking up the Sky Piercer stacks, and now it feels like Flash SG playing almost a near perfect game, only losing 2 members earlier just now. But man, Team Evil, it's a little bit awkward right there for them, right? There's so many knockups as well. Aether doesn't really have the damage. In order to basically pin anybody down, they need Van to come up online as quickly as possible. But it feels like Flash was the one that got to the main power spikes first.
On textbook, I think Evil's draft looked really hella great. Like, they have a lot of layering to the combos.
Yeah.
They don't see Bear there, though. Ven,
Hi.
he's just sneaky right there. Doesn't see anyone. He's just free hitting onto that turret. Here comes Bear with the bravest fighter, Jay, trying to use the taunt to try to get him in, but inbuilt Purify saves his life for now.
Yeah, second skill coming in very nicely for the 1-1 for now. But, you know, Team Evil spent a little bit too much time right there up top.
Jump down
Flash
onto
SG
the turret.
taking down bot.
There's a Tectonic Charge, Violet Requiem trying to knock Hades up, but not enough damage. Aether down low, will be shut down by Vanix, but here comes the rest of Flash SG to gun everyone down. That's the Granger Kimmy combo that Evil has to bear the full brunt of the force with.
Hades literally got tickled by Aether. He doesn't really lose any HP bars as well, even the Grave HP bars, but hold on a second, here we go.
There's a 2-on-1 onto Gear, able to jump out safe.
No. You don't want to jump onto a Lapu Lapu right there, but Hades...
He's just going crazy though. There's a chain stun onto Evil, but I don't want to commit for this. 50 seconds until the Lord spawns up. They're having a near-perfect game, near-perfect team fights every single time, only losing 2. 3,600 gold lead for the side of Flash SG.
The power of team fight is not going into handy for the side of Team Evil this time around. It seems like Flash SG, you know, like what I mentioned, for the side of Team Evil to really work this kind of roster out, you really need a lot of checkboxes. And in order for all these checkboxes to be thick, it's basically having the solar system planets align. And you know, and in MLBB, there's so many things that could happen, so many variables. You really cannot have this kind of roster, in my opinion, because there's so many things that could easily go wrong very quickly.
Yeah, speaking of which, I think, let's talk about 1-1 real quick. All throughout the regular season, has been banned out or has been picked up, but a lot of players like it. It has a built-in Purify, but it's like a glass cannon. But hold on a second, that's a Tectonic Charge, but not enough damage. Will push everyone up into the sky, but Flash SG still barely survives and barely hang on, able to find over Curtisi. Ven will take that one out, but the 1-1 will get out safe for now. That's 2 for the price of 1. As Gear still in the midst of all that fight, 4 members in. And Evil cannot defend against the Wrath of Flash.
Yeah, literally gave 1 kill over the side of Team Flash, and now Vanix, I think right now it should have like, 30 Sky Piercer stack right there. It's just actually allowing Flash SG to snowball, right? And not only just that, they pick up the Lord for themselves. Ven, yes, secures a Heart's Claw for himself, but needs a lot more, right? It needs like at least a Malefic Gun to basically do something against the like of Jay or Hades, or be it the Lapu Lapu.
Aether 05 and 2, Gear 05 and 0. What went wrong down in with the jungler and the EXP?
I feel, Churros, it's just like they're overconfident in this one combo. Yes, on paper it looks wonderful. It looks very beautiful. It's like, you know, when you're designing a tower as an architect, it looks really nice, but the engineer comes in and saying, no, this would not stand. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now. It looks good on paper, it looks good on theory, but it's kind of awkward when you put it to the actual test.
I think the chain stunts is not really working out. Ven, a little bit too deep.
They need more.
Tries to find a taunt in over onto the 1-1. Evil playing on the defense. Flash is buying time for the Lord to slowly march up from that bottom side.
Yeah, and Hades, right? If you notice, this Fredrin is literally going around uncontested, right? And yes, you can knock him up. Yes, you can basically get him locked up in the sky. But who are you expecting to deal with this Fredrin? Sailor on that Vexana?
There's a Traction Pulse. Aether directly into enemy territory. Immediately gets vaporized by the hands of Vanix.
Eternal Guard to no avail as well. Bear, and now the members on the side. Flash SG leaking in.
They're going in deep. They're taunting them out. Evil, you're fighting 4v5. They got the bottom side already cleared up. No more Lord, but Flash SG, they're keeping up. They're cycling them in. And Hades trying to go in with their Praises Wrap. They have 1 cannon minion standing tall. But here comes the double purify. That's a 4-minute tectonic charge. But can Evil do anything about it? Hades falls by the hands of Vanix. But Vanix is just too strong.
Lord Vanix reigns supreme this time around. Ladies and gents, don't worry, I checked. The base for the side Flash SG are all intact.
They're still right there, but what a play from Powerful. Just not enough damage for now. They're 7,000 gold behind, and Evil, even though Powerful made that wonderful play, it was just way too far ahead for Evil to just come back into this.
Yeah, item check right here. Ven does pick up a critical item already. Here comes the Malefic Gun. So Team Evil should be able to team fight right now, but I think Gear needs a couple more tankiness items as well to basically phase tank right there. And Powerful, of course, you just need to Powerful smash, right? Smash everybody into the wall for the side Team Flash and hope and pray for the best. But Team Flash, they're miles ahead regarding the items. The Winter Crown for the side of Curtisi to basically outplay, and now should be building against building a Holy Crystal already. He's gonna output so much damage, and not only just that, the Fredrin already secured a Blade Armor as well. Now all of a sudden Ven is actually doing damage to himself if he actually tags onto Hades.
Is this the plan all along? Like, is this Evil's master plan? Just playing it safe, playing that defense, just giving up all these turrets, and then just having that high ground and playing that high ground opportunity?
Well, we shall see whether that could happen as well. Members
Lord.
on the side, Flash.
Oh, there's a concealed play. They know where Aether is. Aether able to jump out with a spatial migration, but here comes Vanix getting the legendary. They have to fight against a Lord. With a Lord, but Evil unable to get too close. Look at the top side too. The minions already pushing in. Evil has to fix that. The Lord will be blitzed down by Flash.
At least Team Evil installed the minimap DLC. They go back and defended their base for now, but they have to forfeit the Lord over the side of Flash SG. Sailor literally get blown up to pieces by the side of Vanix, and he's 8-1-1. He's outputting the damage.
Curtisi just trying to find anything at all, but Ven caught in a rock in a hard place. Vanix sniping him down and getting another one for himself.
I think he's playing the wrong game. Feels like, he's better suited in other games. But of course, we need Lord Vanix and MLBB. And now this is Team Flash that we know and love. A more aggressive. They know how to play this kind of gameplay against Team Evil. Team Evil, on the other hand, they have to run for the hills.
As Hades getting locked up. The AOG trying to disrupt everything. Hades will finally go down by the hands of Sailor. But here comes Gear, taking a lot of damage from Vanix. Just Vanix free hitting from the backside. There's nothing that Evil could do. All the King's horses, all the King's men can't put their throat back together again as the heroes take game number 2.
A Flash equalizing the score earlier just now. A bit of a picking up the correction tape and correcting that score line just a little bit, fixing the mistakes with duct tape, and they're finally back in the game. I love how, Flash SG was able to just cycle all the aggression very easily, and of course you got the Fredgin, literally there's nobody from the side of Team Evil was able to deal with the Fredgin in the early game, allowing Vanix to scale out of control.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like there was just a hands down dominant performance from Flash SG. One of the reasons picking up that Fredgin was good. I mean, we were doubting it. We were doubting it from the start. Like we have to admit. But at the end of the day, it created so much opportunity for Flash SG to really come through. If you want to take down that Fredgin, you have to find someone that can melt. I think the one reason why Evil faltered at the end of the day was they don't have any early game melting potential, or any late game melting potential. You pick up the Vexana, you don't really have a lot of damage. That's damage over time instead of a immediate heart burst. And Hades just standing in the midst of everything, soaking everything up.
Yeah, so it's a really good plan coming off the side of Flash, right? Denying the Kimi pick away from the side of Team Evil, and it makes it easier and forces the Vexana out, which is kind of awkward. The Lunox actually unbanned at all, and we're going to give the MVP over the side of Gatokacha, Jay.
To be honest, though, I think all 5 members of Team Flash really held up to the end of the bargain. You've got, notable mentions, Bear being put on his tanky, sustainable fighters instead of a mage tank that he's really not comfortable with, and he really showed us how it's done and how it's being played well. You've got Gatakacha just opening up that map, using AOG to disrupt any of these big skirmishes and chain stuns. You've also got Vanix just free hitting from the backside, creating a lot of space and opportunity. Kurtizi was just doing what Vanix does as well, just free hitting from that back and dealing that damage. And Hades, big respect over to him.
Yeah,
we doubted that Fredgin, but he just played it to the T. Every single hit, he soaked up.
I mean, he was literally uncontested by the side of Team Evil, right? Nobody from the side of the 4, except for Van, that could deal with Hades. And by the time, Hades is so humongous already, it's already picking up all those assists, all those kills. He's ahead in the levels. And all of a sudden, the marksman couldn't do anything, right? Like, against Hades. And I personally believe there's so many things that from the side of Team Evil for this one more combo to really go well. There's a lot of things that need to go right before it is even okay. Because I would say that if I were to switch one of these heroes out, I will switch out Sayla. Like the Vexana is a little bit awkward. I think you switch it out with a Lunox, or even Kurtizi's Kimi. I think this roster would be solid for the side of Team Evil.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think the Vexana was just too much of an overkill of crowd control. There wasn't any, guaranteed melters for the side of Evil.
Yep, crowd control can only knock people up, stun people up, but
you have to fight against the Purifies as well. Like, even if you get Kurtizi as a Purifier to get him out safe, even if you try to get in close into Vanix, he's going to Purify out.
You still also need to put an end to the HP bars, right?
Yeah.
You can knock everybody up sky high, but crowd control don't deal damage. Wow. I just learned.
There's a lot of big plays from Evil, but just no follow-up, no damage at all.
Yep.
And speaking of damage, let's take a look at the damage for both of these two teams as well.
Yeah, if you take a look at the damage, I don't really feel like, look at the side of Team Evil, right? Damage dealt is only, maximum for the side is mostly done by Sailor at 54k damage. If you take a look over to the other side of Flash SG, look, Vanix is already 61k. And also, yes, there's also some damage from the side of Gear, but unfortunately, Van is not up online quickly as possible because of Vanix on the Granger escalates even faster as compared to this 1-1.
I think the 1-1 isn't really a very viable pick right now. There's way too many heroes that could immediately shut that